Anytime I post our pricing on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, there's always a flood of comments saying, whoa, you're charging way too high. Whoa, you're overcharging. Whoa, you're too expensive. Whoa, you're a scammer. Whoa, you're a con artist. Oh, you're gonna go out of business in a few years. Oh, that's not gonna last long. You always get a ton of those comments, and that was no different from the video I posted not too long ago of the $850 interior job. Now I have a full-length YouTube video on it, which you can just search back, but this is primarily on a short form content that I posted, and there's just a ton of comments just basically telling me how much of a ripoff that I am. So in this video, I'm kind of break down why we're able to charge, whether it's $320 for an interior job, $850 for an interior job, $1,400 for an interior job, or $1,900 for a correction and coating. I'll break down why we're able to charge those rates and kind of give you insight into what other detailers are saying on why they think we're overpriced or why they're not able to charge a higher ticket price for their services. So let's dig into some of the comments. I'll start with a juicy one. What a robbery. I've been a detailer for over 7 years, and this is definitely not a $900 detail. It's $350 to $450 is fair for the interior, which is not even that bad. So this individual is saying like, yeah, hey, I've been doing it for 7 years and I would charge $400 for that. So that you're overpriced. And the thing is with running your own business, right? There's a customer for everyone. So if they're, and not even detailers, let's say a steakhouse, you can go get a steak for $30, or you can go at the, whatever restaurant in town and they're selling a $300 steak, right? You could go to a barber for $15, get a haircut. I'm sure there's a barber in your area that's charging $100 for the haircut. The results, I don't know, is there a difference? Yes, no, but there's a market for both of those situations, right? There's gonna be a person that goes to a $30 steak and spends $20 on a haircut. And then there's gonna be that individual that goes to the $300 steak and gets a $100 haircut, right? Is one better than the other? That's up for you to decide, right? Is one better or not for the customer? That's for them to decide. If they see the value in spending $20 over $100 for the haircut, there's no right or wrong answer. But if the customer sees the value in the $100 over the $20, that's on them. And this comment says, I had to pay no more than $400. My income won't allow for more than that. And it's like, that's absolutely fine, right? Because of our pricing, we get told a lot, no, that's too expensive. You're too, we hear it all the time on the phone and email. We know that people go to other detailers because they have lower prices than ours, right? And I say it all the time. You could find a bunch of other detailers in our area that do double our work for half the price. Yet why do customers choose us over the other detailers? You could go down the street right now and find a detailer to do what we do for half the price. So why is it that customers still choose us? Is it, oh, well they're using Agreeits over a Harbor Freight? It's because they've been in business for 10 years over that person that's been in business for 3 years. It's none of that. It is absolutely none of that. It's so many other things, as I said earlier, on why you're able to price higher or lower than other detailers. Now, another thing that I'm seeing is that a lot of detailers, when they're saying, hey, I'd probably charge like $200 to $400, and I asked them, hey, why would you charge that? Or what do you think about my pricing? Because I want to hear about what other detailers think. I don't want to just one thing I try to stay away from is just hearing I'm doing a good job. I want to hear criticism and feedback from other detailers just to see where their mindset is with business and pricing. And when I talk to these other detailers, you can clearly tell, I ask them basic questions of how many leads do you get per day? What kind of marketing are you doing? And it's an overwhelming response of I could tell okay, yeah, you don't have a full grasp of how to market your services. You don't really know how to push and pull the levers to generate more traffic, leads, and sales. And it's very obvious. It's you're lacking a lot of business and marketing and sales fundamentals, right? Because the way they're talking to me, it's yeah, I could just, by the way you worded that sentence, I could just tell you're putting a lot of success or a lot of things that you're doing on external things that you should be 100% in control of. And I won't go into detail every single one, but it's more so oh yeah, well, we have we hired one of our friends to handle our marketing. It's I can already tell you from that statement right there and how you worded it and everything, that you are not in control of your business, where you don't know what's actually going on why you're getting customers, which means you don't have the power, the skills, the know-how to say, hey, we're making $3,000 a month and we want to get to $7,000 a month. Let's go and try all these things. You're like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, customers aren't really paying. Like, everyone's cheap around here. And that's kind of like a big consensus that I'm gaining amongst many detailers, where like, of course they want to charge more, but they don't know exactly how. And a big part of that is like, yeah, like you have to go and focus on things that has nothing to do with detailing, right? Marketing, sales, communications, customer service, customer experience, like that has nothing to do with detailing, but that's a major part. And so how you're able to charge more for your services. And here's another comment that's very interesting. I had told this individual that the customer already knew the price point before they brought the vehicle in. And this person said, how is it that he knew the price before coming in? It seems like that easily set him up to accept a high number. I feel like there's some background work happening here that wasn't explained in the video. Do you mind elaborating? And I feel like I've seen this often too, of like, because we're charging a higher price, it's like there has to be more steps to it, right? Like, it wasn't that simple, right? Like, you have to go talk to him and back and forth, and he came in and maybe it was over 2 weeks, and it's like, no, it's not. Like this, and the customer filled out a form on our website. We maybe exchanged like 4 emails in total. He submitted the form, we replied for photos, he sent us photos, we gave him a quote, we booked it in. 5 days later, the customer dropped it off at 9 a.m., picked it back up at 2 p.m. that same day, paid the $900, tipped $100, left a 5-star review, and that was that. And I get the notion of like, because it's a higher price service, people are like, no, it has to be more than that. It's like, no, once you have everything else in place, right? From your reviews, from your website, from your marketing, from how you communicate your customers, from word of mouth, like all that plays in synergy to where your business is set up differently than someone that doesn't know about marketing, that doesn't have, great customer service, customer experience skills. Like all these little things matter over a period of time that, get your business to a certain point. But like if you're lacking on all these other things, it's like you're always going to be fighting tooth and nail, trying to get more customers or trying to raise your rates and trying to make more money. And you're always gonna be too expensive to someone, right? And don't get me wrong, like this $850, that's because the interior was really bad. Like our typical pricing goes from like $220 to like $360. But regardless of that, if we charge $800 for an interior, people are gonna say that's too expensive. If you charge $600 for an interior, people are gonna say that's too expensive. If you charge $300 for an interior, there are gonna be people that say that's too expensive. If you charge $150 for an interior, there's gonna be people that's gonna say that's too expensive. So it's up to you. Where on that spectrum do you wanna be? Do you wanna be at a $200 service and get people to tell you that's too expensive? Or do you wanna be at the $600 point and get people to tell you that's too expensive? Either way, you're too expensive to some people. That will never go away, right? And like if you think, like some of the comments that I got here is like, oh, well, I charge $350 and that's way more reasonable than you. You're overcharging. And it's saying, okay, so you're telling me that every customer that comes to you can afford that $350? Of course not. You're also gonna have customers in your business that tell you the $350 is too expensive, that they know a guy that they can do it for $150. And I guess sometimes people forget that it's your business and you can run it how you want, right? So there's some detailers that don't take on interiors. There's some detailers that only do correction coatings and PPF, and their average ticket price is like $2,000 to $5,000. So if you want to run your business and charge $50 for a detail, you can do that. If you want to run your business and charge $500 for a detail, you can do that. If you want to run your business and charge $5,000 for a detail, you can also do that. The beauty of running your business is that you can run it how you want, but don't let the opinion of others kind of shape how you run your business. Because I talked to another individual and he was saying, well, if you read all your comments, everyone agrees that you're overcharging, that you're overpriced. And I replied and I was like, so you're saying if people would tell you in your comments that the $500 that you would charge was too expensive, would you change your rates? So when people tell me our prices are too high, oh, it is. But if people were to tell you that your prices are too high, it's not, because it's not as high as his. That doesn't make sense. Point being is that just don't comment on the internet, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube is not real life. Every single comment here that I've gotten between YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram will not be our customers, right? The individuals that come here that are customers that pay us for our services, this is the real world. We're talking to them on the phone, we're emailing them, we're talking to them in person, we're actually doing commerce with them. all these like, you know, opinions on the internet that are from everywhere else but here and are not our customers. It's just an opinion. It's just something that someone wants to say, and that's it. Don't confuse what you read on social media from other detailers to what's actually happening in your business. Don't let those opinions cap you or limit your potential on how you want to run your business. I'll go ahead and end the video right here. You can let me know in the comment section down below what you think of detailers saying you're too expensive, or how do you handle that, or tell me if I'm too expensive. That's also fine too. I'll end it right here, and I'll see you on the next one.